Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the G.I. Joe Classified HISS Tank Fire Team. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see some great imagery featuring all three characters in this set. And if we turn the box around, an almost schematic-like image of all three figures and all of their accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe.
Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with the Range Viper here first. This is just such a cool design, man. I love the standard blue version, but getting him in this color deco is just insane. I'm so glad I picked him up. The colors just look great. First of all, I love the design of that helmet. Like, for real, what is this helmet? This thing is nuts. Like, first it's a skull, then you have that glowing red behind the back of like the eyes, and then the cheek and the nose there looks really cool. You get that little bit of dark red on the side and that gray brain. I mean, that's just a crazy looking helmet, man. I don't know if that's not, I don't think that's a real brain. Pretty sure that's just the helmet, but it looks really, really cool. I also love the things like the tampons that we get with a 788 on the shoulders like that. You get all these different types of tampos to represent the HISS, you know, either on the front of the chest, on the other side over here of the shoulder. All looks really good. I love the two-tone reds that we get in things like the vest. I get that darker red against that lighter red. That looks really good too. And then just the colors just look really good. You know, if you have the blue version, you already know what to expect. This is just a color swap of that. I love the way this turned out, man. It's kind of crazy to see, like, when they paint arms that are just most meant to be like fleshy arms, but they just paint them a dark color to make it look like a longer sleeve. You see the veins popping out and stuff like that. And I didn't kind of realize he has like a red wristwatch there, but it looks really good. The great pants, all that, the boots look really, really nice. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and armor this guy up and see what he looks like with all his gear on. So first off, we're going to take his little scarf here. We're going to go ahead and put that around the neck like so. And then we're going to get that bandolier. We're going to pop that on over the head like that. Get that arm up a little bit better, like so. There we go. Just like that. Then this guy just comes with a ton of stuff. Like, for some reason, this dude uses a sai. It's been like that since the vintage toy. I always thought that was really cool. We got a little slot on the side of the belt like that. So that works out good right there. He also does come with a pistol with an extended magazine in there, so you can put that in the holster right there. Then we're going to go ahead and take his backpack that I have the grenade launcher already in right there, so that's going to be good. I'm going to plug that in on the back like so, and then take that hose and plug it into the back of the helmet, or his brain right there, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and take his standard machine gun, because this dude, it pretty much kind of is a heavy... Look at that right there. I love that gun too, with the bullets like that coming out of that big brick of a mag. I think that looks really, really cool. So now here he is, fully armored up, looking really awesome. God, this thing looks so badass. I'm just really happy with the way this turned out. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in the standard Range Viper so we can compare these two side by side, and we can just see how these guys look. Again, exact same figure, just different colors, more to coincide with the HISS tank itself, with that whole black and red motif. Again, both of these look really, really good. And honestly, I'm not really sure which version I like more. I'm kind of leaning more towards the blue one, because it's just such an iconic look in my opinion, and I absolutely love that vintage toy. But this looks completely badass. So which versions do you like? Do you like the original, or do you like the modern HISS version better? So now I'm going to take a look at the HISS officer here. Again, I just love the colors, you know, the whole black and reds, just together. That's just like my favorite color design with pretty much anything. I love the whole look of black and red together, and seeing it on the officer here looks really, really cool. And again, we've seen this figure before, and I'm not going to run down any of the articulation, because I mean, we basically all know how the articulation works with these, but I love that dark red harness, and you got a little bit of more polished red for the gauntlets here. And you will notice that he's not actually wearing the gloves that the officer would normally wear. He is wearing the more painted, fully armed gauntlets that we saw with like the Cobra, Viper, and the Infantry. So that I actually do like that quite a bit. It looks really good on this character. You got the red painted logo, all the red harnesses. Looks really good. You got the gray officer boots, so those look really nice as well. You still got the gray gloves underneath. That looks kind of cool. But I just love this design. I think it looks really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put his helmet on because I love the helmet of this guy. You got the 788 up there. You know, got the chevron on the top of the forehead. I love the polished black-red helmet. I think that looks so good. That really sets off the look for this guy, man. I absolutely love it. So the same thing, let's go ahead and fully load this guy up. Now, he does come with a little knife here. That's one thing I'm going to complain about with this particular figure. A lot of these accessories aren't necessarily made for him, and I get they didn't want to maybe just reissue the Cobra officer exactly, you know, weapons and all that. So the parts don't really match all that well with this figure, but I mean, things can still be done. Like, this knife is not designed for that holster. That holster is way too big, but you can still put the knife in there, and it does hold fairly good. It's the same thing with like the magazine here. That can be put in there like that. You see kind of, this magazine really isn't meant for this particular pouch like that. We got a pistol we can put in his pouch right here for the sidearms like that. We also do get that back holster that you can just plug right into the back. We've seen that with other Cobra officers. He also does come with this rifle right here for that, with that mag. Now again, this rifle isn't really meant for the officer, but this is the one we got, and I just been putting that in the back. And again, this holster is not really meant for that rifle, so it kind of sticks out. It won't go all the way in, but it still looks pretty good. You know, you can hold that on the back or turn it to the side like that. It still looks really good in my opinion. And then we get this gun right here that I'm just going to put in his hand that I actually really do like, with that long mag like that. I think this looks really cool, man. I don't know if it's just the colors, but it looks so dope. I love the way it looks, especially that helmet. Again, the weapons and gear, you can tell, isn't really meant for this guy, but I think it's all still works really, really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in the standard Cobra officer here, so you can see pretty much, for the most part, it is the same thing. We are getting some mixed parts from other figures, like the infantry and things like that, with that upper armor with that like texture on the chest, where this one's more smooth. You can see the standard officer does have the full-on gloves, with the exception of the, you know, over here he has the gauntlets. But you see a lot of the same pieces used here, especially the harness and the weapons, and the head sculpts are exactly the same. And you can see the different types of guns that are used for this particular figure. The officer here, which is made for these parts, these ones are kind of like just, I don't know why they did that. I really don't. You know, I'm cool with them giving us different weapons. You know, they just don't fit as well, so that's a little weird that they did that, but whatever. Again, same thing with the gun that they're carrying right there. So again, which do you like better, the original classic blue or the more HISS tank red? And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the infantry. I think this is probably my favorite one. I just think he looks so good. First of all, I love that old Cobra Trooper figure that was just like a pain in the butt to find for the longest time. And then I love the Cobra Infantry figure that came out too. I thought that's such a good figure. And it still holds up as one of my favorites. So getting it in this color deco, again, some of my favorite color combinations of the red and black, damn, this thing looks awesome to me. I love it so much. I'm even looking at the head sculpt here. I love the inserts of the red that we get throughout the mask or the helmet like that, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure it's more of a mask. But then the polished black of like the face shield right there looks so good. The eyes and the skin tone look awesome. And I love just the full black suit, but you got the indentations of the red on the chest, different bits of the arms there, even into like the forearm gauntlets. That looks really good. Carrying on down to the side of the legs. I just love the way this looks, man. And again, the two tones of the softer blacks, the more matted blacks, and the polished blacks of like the kick pads, the knees, the gauntlets, the face mask right there, even the polished black of the Cobra logo on the chest, all looks so freaking cool. Now, the big difference with this is he does have a different type of chest harness from the standard Cobra Trooper / Infantry. That harness is actually going to be from your Commando Snake Eyes over here. It's the exact same one from that figure. They just decided to put it on a Trooper, which I think actually looks really, really good and works in this character's favor. Now, this guy doesn't have a ton of armoring up, but I'm going to go to put on his helmet, which is similar to that of the Cobra officer, just done in more black, but you still get the 788 logo on the side of the helmet, and that just looks really good again in that polished black. Oh my god, yeah, this is definitely my favorite one of the set. Now he is more like a bazooka dude. He does anti-craft. He shoots down ships and other tanks and things like that. So he does come a backpack. We've seen this backpack before with other characters like Bazooka himself. And you got the missiles in there. You could, of course, hang the bazooka on the back of the backpack like that. But, of course, I like to get it to hold him in his hand. And it could be a little tricky. You know, a bazooka is not like your standard gun. So getting it in hand can be a bit of a pain in the butt. Just get in there, give it a little twist. Go ahead and pop it to the side right there. And there you go. And damn, that is my dude. Oh my god, I love that. I love how you can even like open the bazooka up and pop an actual missile in there. I think that's just super rad. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to bring in an infantry. I'm going to go in and bring in that old Cobra Trooper, which was just such a cool looking figure. And I'm bringing this one because this one did come out before the infantry. And again, he was so hard to find for the longest time because so many people were army building him and scalpers were going crazy. But, you know, I managed to get a couple at a really, really good price and I didn't overpay anything like crazy. Like, so, you know, thankful to a lot of the people in the G.I. Joe community for that. But still, you can see the different colorways, you know, again, pretty much the exact same thing. You see the armored gauntlets, the different armored chest, or the suit underneath, or it's black, or excuse me, blue and black here. Over here, it's black and red. You know, just different colors, and of course, the different harness or the chest armor overlaying piece that we get there. But again, I still love that armored mask. I think that just looks so cool, very high tech, very modern. And that's one thing too. I want to ask you guys too. Do you guys like? Because this is a modern twist on a Cobra Trooper. You know what I mean? And I loved when Classified was kind of taking those old school designs and more modernifying. Is modernifying the word? Moderning? I'm not speaking correctly right now, but you guys know what I mean. When Classified first started, they gave us a little bit more modern look for certain characters, and I really liked it. Not everything was a home run, but I preferred it. Or do you like just the straight up classic look of those figures just in 6-inch form? So I don't know. I prefer the slightly more modern look, but these guys just look great side by side. And again, which do you like better? Classic blue or HISS red? Now, something I really like about this set, we get a ton of like blast effects and muzzle effects and things like that, which is just super cool. You get pretty much everything you're going to need for a set like this. So I'm going to show you just a quick example. So like we have this one right here. That's almost like a quick little muzzle burst like that. If I could actually get that in right there. So you can get something like that on there. What's also cool, you get this little bullet effect, kind of like where it's actually coming out, and you can actually add that to that muzzle effect like that, and you can have something right there. And just all the different ones that we get are really cool. Like I really do love this one a lot. I think that's pretty awesome. You get some really great designs. You got the ones with like multiple bullets like popping off. I think is really cool. We even get a utility axe with this set. I think that's really awesome too. All these weapons can be used for different figures. But I'm gonna bring in this dude right here because I think this is really rad. We get these like bazooka effects. Now this came with another figure. Why is oh my god, the guy who has the drone tank, he's in Cobra. I cannot remember his name right now. You guys will remind me in the comments. I have that figure anyways, and he came with these effects because he shot these rockets. But this is super cool because, oh, I'm just gonna pop that off because that's gonna keep falling off. This can actually plug in to the bazooka like that, which I think is super dope. And then you can actually take a missile, and on the back of the missile, there's a little tab and there's a little port right in there. And you can actually plug in the missile to that effect piece. That is really dope. So if you just want to take some really cool pictures, or if you're setting up some type of dio, I think that is awesome. I never really noticed that before with these effects, with that other figure that I cannot remember the name of for some reason. And again, you guys will let me know in the comments. I just think that's super cool, man. What a great idea. I love that this fits into the bazooka. So an awesome addition to this entire set.
So for a quick size comparison, here they are standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here they are standing next to their blue standard release versions of each individual figure. And for even more comparison, here they are standing next to the rest of the HISS tank crew. And just for fun, here they are with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the HISS Tank Fire Team. Now, for the most part, these really are just re-releases just with different decos, but I totally prefer this deco over those standard releases, as I love this color combination of the reds, the blacks, and the grays. I just think they look so good. They look so much better for me, especially if you have the HISS tank. And I already love the crew that came with the HISS tank as it is. Just being able to add to that crew, and you have so many display options for the HISS tank. Getting to add all these characters onto the tank is just pretty insane. It's just a really fun 3-pack. I cannot wait till we get that Techno Viper that's supposed to be coming a little later on. But man, I love the HISS tank. I love all the characters that we're getting to build around the HISS tank, which is really cool. So many great accessories with all those muzzle effects. And hey, if you have any of these figures, you know what to expect with the articulation. But they are awesome, totally badass, and definitely a must-get. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.